We always get what we want. And that's what I want to talk about today. It's interesting that this needs to be said. But it does, because a lot of us don't know what we really want. Probably most of us don't know what we really want. And, we'll say things like, I never get what I want. And religious people that believe in praying, for what they want, will say things like, my prayers never get answered. And the reason why people say things like this is because they don't know what they really want. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So this is how you can know if you really want what you say you want. Because there's a big difference, between saying what you want and really wanting it. When you really want something, you will do whatever it takes to get it. Meaning you will fight for it. And if you are not willing to fight for what you want, then you don't really want it. And I'll give you some examples. You want to lose weight, right? But you don't want to change the way you eat. And you don't exercise now, and you don't want to start exercising. You don't want to lose weight. You think you want to lose weight, and you say you want to lose weight. But if you're not willing to do the things that are required in order for you to lose weight, then you don't want to lose weight. Everything in this life comes at a price. Everything. And when I say that, you might be thinking about money. But that's not even what I'm talking about, because money is last on the list. When I say everything in this life comes at a price, the price I'm talking about is the price that you have to pay for what you want. And I'm talking about things like commitment, dedication, sacrifice, consistency, persistence. Refusing to quit or give up. These are the prices that I'm talking about. So, what's the price for losing weight? The price for losing weight, some examples would be leaving the pizza alone. You're not eating pizza no more. That's a price you have to pay. You're not drinking pop anymore. That's a price you have to pay. Getting a gym membership and working out 3, 4, 5 days a week. That's a price you have to pay. Getting a coach or a trainer, a nutritionist, are possible prices that you have to pay. Being consistent is a price you have to pay. if you want to lose weight. I mean, that's just a really short list, but chances are if you're wanting to lose weight, there's a lot more shit that you need to give up than just pizza and pop. And whatever it is, you have to be willing to pay that price every single time something new is brought to your attention. You give up the pizza, you gave up the pop, you gave up the chips, and now you become aware you need to give up the cupcakes or the cookies or the energy drinks or the coffee. You have to be willing to pay the price every single time. Whatever that price is, whatever the cost. And so this applies to anything in life that we want to achieve. You have to be willing to pay the price. And if you're not willing to pay the price, then you don't really want what you say you want. And you don't deserve it. I made a video about this, and it just comes to mind, when Kanye West said slavery was a choice. And it was. Because the people that chose slavery didn't want to pay the price for their freedom. Period. They could have chose to pay the price for their freedom, like whatever it costs, even if it meant their life. But instead, they chose to be slaves. They chose to be slaves because they chose not to pay the price for their freedom. I mean, it's not even complicated. So, we're always saying what we want. But how much of what we say we want are we actually paying the price to have, to acquire? We have goals. I'll use me as an example real quick. Like when I see bodybuilders, right? And like I'm looking at the muscles, they got the six pack, like just the big arms and the chest and the shoulders and all this shit. And they look great to me. And I used to say a lot, I want that. Excuse me. But I didn't understand what it costs to have that. And as I began understanding the cost to look like that, I'm actually just realizing this right now. But I realized that's not what I want. I'm not willing to pay that price. I'm not willing to eat 5, 6, 7 times a day, every single day. I'm not willing to work out hard and heavy 5 times a week in the gym. I'm not willing to drink protein powders and growth hormones and take steroids. And like there's just a ton of fucking supplements that they take. I'm not willing to pay that price. So I like the way they look. I would like to look like that. but I'm not paying that price. So I don't really want that. We always get exactly what we want. There are no exceptions to this. None. Zero. But what we want isn't determined by what we say. It's determined by what we do. It's determined by, are we paying the price for what we say we want? I was about to go somewhere and I lost it. So I started thinking about some other shit. So I'm gonna have to go in a different direction. And if it comes back, then I'll, take a detour. We're always saying we want this and that and this and that. We want something different, but we're not willing to do anything different. And that's just not the way it works. There's laws that govern our experiences. There's laws. Everything you want, there are laws that govern it. And I just remember where I was going. So I'm going to come off of that and go here. So this is what I wanted to say. And then I'm going to come back to laws, if I remember. Okay, and this weight loss example I'm giving applies to anything that you say you want or you desire. It applies to anything, any goal, anything you want to accomplish. It applies. I'm just using weight loss because it's easy. And a lot of people can relate to it. So let's say you start off on your weight loss journey. And just right out the gate, you know of some foods that you need to stop eating. And you stop. You leave the high calorie, high fat shit alone. Like most people do know. Like the breads, the soda or the pops, whatever you call it, where you at. The sugary snacks. We for the most part, we know enough to get us going in the right direction. We know enough to give us a really great start. So boom, you start out and you leave everything alone that you know you need to leave alone to lose weight. And then you start working out. You get you a gym membership or you go up to the park and you start walking. Whatever you doing, boom, you're working out 3, 4, 5, 7 fucking times a week, every fucking day. And 3 months in, you start missing the foods that you gave up. And working out the 3, 4, 5, however many days a week, you start missing some of those shows that you would have normally been watching during those times. Or you start missing, maybe, you have friends calling you and you be like, no, I can't go out right now because I'm about to go work out. And you start missing that. So you start missing things from your old lifestyle. And you fall off. You stop. You start working out less and less. and you gradually start eating the things that you used to eat that made you gain all that weight, till eventually you're right back where you were before. That means, if I were to translate what happened was you wanted to lose weight, and then you began realizing what it really cost you. You began realizing the price, and you're just not willing to pay it. So you don't want to lose weight no more, because for you, the cost to lose weight is too expensive. You want to eat pizza more than you want to lose weight. You're not willing to pay that price and giving that up. You want to drink your pop more than you want to lose weight. That is too expensive to give pop up. You'd rather hang out with your friends instead of be at the gym. That's a price you're not willing to pay. It's too expensive. And so, just to put a different spin on this, the price for better health is too expensive for you, and you're not willing to pay that price. And that's the bottom line. So you say you want to be in better health, but you're not willing to pay the price to be in better health, which means being in better health is not really what you want. Because it's not a question, like in the world, like if you want to talk about money, you might see a house that you want, but you just don't have the money to afford it. So you can't get that house because you don't have the money. This ain't that though. This is totally different, because you can pay the price for anything you want, because the price ain't money. Again, the price is things like patience, consistency, diligence, commitment, sacrifice, discipline, focus. All of that's on the inside of every one of us. We all have the ability to focus, and we do. Like, these are things that we're always using. We're always using focus. But what are we focusing on? We're always using discipline. But in what way? We're always committed to something, but what are we committed to? Right? We always exercise patience, but in what ways? Right? So, instead of being patient in losing weight, we might be patient in the fucking fast food line, while we wait on our food, or at the restaurant while we wait on our food to come out, or we're patient in other ways. Our commitment could be, instead of being committed to our goals of losing weight, our commitment could be to our old lifestyle. We could be committed to pizza and pop and cupcakes and cookies and sugary treats and shit like this. We could actually be committed to weight gain instead of weight loss. And this is shown by our actions, by our choices. If you want to lose weight and if you're not working out, if you're not exercising, it's because you don't want to. If you're not eating better, healthier to support what you say you want, it's because you don't want to. You don't want to eat a salad. You want to eat the fucking pizza. You don't want to drink water. You want to drink pop. You don't want to work out. You want to hang out with your friends. We always get exactly what we want. And I'm going to say it again. What we want is not what we say we want. What we want is what we're willing to fight for. It's what we pursue. It's what we go after. Our actions show what we really want. And so, if you made it this far, ask yourself, what do you really want? And the things that you say you want, ask yourself, do you really want that? Because again, whatever it is, there is a price that comes along with it. So earlier I was talking about how laws govern all of our experiences. Laws of action. And this is what I mean. It's not what we say that counts. It's what we do. This is laws of action. So if you say you want to be rich, but you're not willing to learn, you're not willing to study, you're not willing to work, or you're not willing to work your ass off, you're not willing to work 12, 14, 16-hour days, you're not willing to take a risk in starting a business or take a risk in investing or buy a course or go to a conference, you don't want to be rich. You want to be whatever your actions are supporting. So, if your actions are chilling in the house, playing a video game, eating snacks, talking shit online, and this is just like your lifestyle. This is what you love to do. This is what you do, in your spare time, in your free time. Then your actions say that being rich ain't important to you. Your actions are saying you want just enough to get by, just enough to keep your video game on and whatever, keep the gold pass or whatever so you could play online. That's what your actions are saying. So what do you want? Like, what do you really want? What are you willing to go after and pursue and fight for? Because you're going to have to fight for it. There's a fight. And the fight is towards things like inconsistency and impatience and thoughts of quitting and giving up. This is what you're fighting. This is what you're fighting against. You're fighting against thoughts of not believing in yourself or in your ability to achieve what you want to achieve. Your fight is against I had a really good one and I lost it. But you get the idea, right? This is what you're fighting against. You know, the thoughts in your head that say you can't do it. The thoughts in your head that say this ain't gonna work. The thoughts in your head that say you need to give up or turn back or just quit, or the old ways were better, or you don't need to lose weight, or you don't need a lot of money, or you know, you don't need a business or a career or a good job. These are the types of things you're fighting against. And I don't know if I said this. I think I did, but if I said it already, I'm gonna say it again. But when you start pursuing what you say you want and you quit, you give up, you go back, you're saying that you don't want it anymore. You're realizing, and this isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying, you know, maybe you just weren't supposed to have that. Maybe you were going in the wrong direction. And that's how I look at it. I mean, and I know that's the truth, you know. Anytime you give up or you quit pursuing something, it's because you really didn't want it, which means it wasn't for you in the first place. You were going in the wrong direction. So that's just something to, you know, make a note of. That's not something to feel bad about. It's just something to make a note of. And okay, I thought I wanted this, but I don't. So because honestly, you know, like, I know we think we know what we want, but we really don't know what we want. You know, and some of us may, you know, but most of us think we know what we want, but we really don't know. And this is why we quit and give up and go back to our old ways. And if that's you, just keep searching. Because when you find what you really want, you ain't giving up. You ain't quitting. Because what you really want is going to be something that you're passionate about. It's going to be something that you love. Excuse me. And the only reason we quit and give up is because we're not passionate about what we're pursuing. We don't want to pay that price because we don't want it that much. But when it's something that you're passionate about and something that you love, you will pay whatever price you have to pay. Period. It's like 50 Cent's album, Get Rich or Die Trying. Like, he meant that shit. He wanted to be rich so bad that he was willing to die trying to be rich. That's how bad he wanted it. And he was willing to pay the price of his life to get it. With the understanding that if I can't be rich, life ain't even worth living. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's how you have to feel when you pursue whatever it is you pursue. And if you're not feeling like that, then you probably ain't gonna get it. Because you don't really want it. You know, and it depends on what it is and the price that comes with it. You know, but the bigger the prize, the higher the price. So I'm gonna wrap that up here because I think that's a good place to wrap this up at. But let me know what you think.